top of the morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Harkaran, and I'm back with another video. I'm sorry that I'm making a lot of videos on dating, but I can't help it. I'm enjoying it. So first of all, I like to congratulate all of you guys for making it through 100 subscribers. I know it's not quite an achievement, but I deeply appreciate all of you guys. And for those who haven't subscribed yet, just make sure to do it down below with the speed of light. Okay, so now back to the video. So I have made a very short presentation to explain my latest hypothesis. Does an average man on Tinder stand a chance in the online matchmaking or not? So I know most of you guys would relate to it. So let's start it right away. So I know all of you guys have tried Tinder at least once in your lifetime. If yes, then most of you would agree with the fact that men do generally get a very bad deal out of Tinder. A perfect match for a man is still a myth for most of the guys at least. So for an average guy, I'll take myself as an example and put forward an observation that how do women behave on online dating websites and what are the inequalities associated with it. So here's a very famous quote by an Indian philosopher that not every man gets the woman of their choices, but most men they don't get a woman at all, and this is true. Okay, so the because the access to women is historically the bottleneck of human sexuality. That means that it is predominantly the women who get to initiate the matchmaking in this online world, and Tinder just escalates this process, making available a list of an infinite catalog of men for the women to choose from. Hence, it gives the woman monopoly over how a relationship will progress or whether it will progress or not. So, talking about my experience in using Tinder, well, I consider myself to be at least a 6, maybe a 7 on the cute axis. So I thought, well, it won't be tough enough. Let's give it a try. But boy, I was wrong. So when most of us start out with Tinder, we try to use the best pickup line that we have on our sleeves. So we live in a world of expectations about imaginary conversations. The dates will go on, and the name of the babies and so on. So I gotta tell you, these all are lies. Okay, so these concepts do not exist in real life. Well, this one got me a date anyway, but you get the idea. So here is an ethical, true to the soul scenario for most of the Indian guys out there who are using Tinder. They'll at most they'll get a match from one girl, that too without a profile pic, and she won't even reply back to your hi with dignity. Okay, so now a study has shown that matchmaking on Tinder is based on the fact that 80% of the least attractive men they are competing for the bottommost 22% of the women, and 78% of the highest rated women they are competing for the 20% of the highest rated men. So it follows that Tinder universe is basically a world that is shaped by a woman's decision, and it's not a bad thing at all, or is it? Here's a graph to justify it. So as we see from the graph, it shows what percentage of the opposite gender will generally find you attractive based on where you stand on the spectrum of male attractiveness from on the scale of 0 to 100. So it shows the stark difference between the male attractiveness and female attractiveness. For example, a girl who is 20% on the scale of attractiveness will attract about 70 to 80% of the guys, but a guy who is about 60% attractive, he won't stand a chance at all. Like, he would attract only about 3 to 5% of the girls in the Tinder economy. So now, what do we mean by the Tinder economy? Like in a normal economy, the wealth of an economy is measured by its income. But in the Tinder economy, we measure it by the number of likes a person gets, or a male person gets. So we can see that the wealth distribution of males in the Tinder economy, it's quite large. This is because most of the females only like the most attractive guys they find. Okay, so now we know from other studies that women as a group are more leftist in nature, and they more strongly support the redistribution of resources than a group of men, and that's a good thing. Okay, women are simply better people, more empathetic, more caring, and always ready to share. But what kind of world do women actually create when they are swiping on the screens of their smartphones? Is it a country like Denmark, Switzerland, or Norway, or is it a country like USA? Guess again. So the Gini coefficient of Tinder economy comes out to be around 0.85. This is the world women create on Tinder, which is comparable to a country like Zambia. So for the people who might not be knowing about the Gini coefficient, it is the measure of income disparity, or in similar terms, the distribution of inequality in an economy. The closer it is to zero, the more equally distributed is the resources to all the people in that country. And the closer it is to one, only a few elites they control the entire economy. So it is usually works with the income of a person in a country, but for the case of Tinder, will be taking the case of the number of likes men get on Tinder. So even the Lawrence curve on the Tinder economy, it shows a great deviation from the line of equality where everyone basically gets equal opportunities and resources. So that sets forth some statistics that support my hypothesis on why don't many men get likes on Tinder. Women do not support the equality at all when they're looking for a match on Tinder. But that is, of course, the right of each and every person to choose exactly the kind of person they are comfortable with, and this might as well has to do with the ratio of male to female on Tinder. As a matter of fact, the quantity of undesirable men on this app, but these numbers speak their dry, merciless language. So technically speaking, the Tinder in a Tinder economy, the average man is a poor farmer sowing his field, whereas an average woman is a well-to-do zamindar who overlooks the work of her field. So lastly, I have this advice to the men who are watching this video. If you are amongst the 80% of the lowest ranked men on Tinder, which of course no one who's watching this video is, there is so much to achieve in this life than wasting your time getting ignored by borderline attractive women seeking male validation in this app as an ego boosting mechanism. Okay, so lastly, I want to end with the note that if you belong to the top 20% of the men out there, uh, good luck on finding your dates here. For others, you might want to delete your Tinder account right away and uninstall the app. But here's an interesting thing to know. Uh, Fortunately or unfortunately, most men are too rationally self overestimating and too deeply fascinated with women for that to ever gonna happen again. In the end, thanks for watching. Just make sure to like this video and share this video to spread out the message to as many people as possible, and subscribe to my channel. It's down below. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.